everybody, it's Marissa. Today I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of living in Concord, California. I would say the first pro of living in Concord is the price point. So the housing prices are much lower than I would say like Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, Orinda. The price points will probably start for a single family home is $700 and up. The homes are large, you're going to have lots of space. So if you're coming from the city and you want to have more room, you're working from home and you need office space, you're definitely going to be able to get it here in Concord at a good price, as well as backyard space. So backyards are pretty large here in Concord usually. You're going to have a nice patio, maybe some grass in the backyard. You might even have room for a pool. Pro number 2 is that Concord is very close to BART stations. So if you are a commuter, Concord is a great place to live. My husband would commute to the city every day, so he would hop on the Concord BART. There's North Concord and Concord BART stops. They have plenty of parking, so that is great. Now, things are a little bit different here with COVID, but before COVID, my daughter would go to school in Walnut Creek. So when on the days that my husband would drop off in Walnut Creek, he would try the Walnut Creek BART. There was no parking. So he would end up coming back to Concord to find parking, and there was always parking there to get on BART and head to work, which was pretty crazy. So he had to backtrack to come to the Concord BART. So that is definitely a pro, that you're going to find parking at the BART stops. You're going to be able to live within 5 minutes from a BART station and hop on BART to get to work, or just maybe you need to go to a baseball game or a concert in the city, you can do that too. So that would be the second pro. Pro number 3 is that Concord has a diverse amount of grocery stores and restaurants in Concord. So Concord has Safeway, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, there's Las Montañas, 99 Ranch, and Seafood City. It's awesome to have all those stores available to us within 5 to 10 minutes of our home. So if you are really into cooking and that is important to you, to have all those grocery stores available, Concord's a great place to live. Also, the diverse amount of restaurants here in Concord is pretty large. You can probably get any kind of food here in Concord. It is pretty spread out. There isn't like a huge downtown area. Concord does have the Los Santos Plaza, which is like our smaller downtown that has many restaurants. Then you'd probably head over to the Park and Shop and the Veranda. But like I said, there's a variety of restaurants here in Concord to check out, and it's one of my favorites about living here in Concord. Pro number 4, Concord has many parks. There are a lot of parks here in Concord for your children to play in. If you like to play tennis, basketball, soccer, baseball, we have all those fields available in Concord. So there's going to be a park in every neighborhood, and that is awesome. So the neighborhoods are pretty walkable. There's nice sidewalks in Concord, so you could probably walk to a park from your home. My nearest park is just down the block, and there's a really nice playground there and a grassy area for kids to play or for your dogs to play. So that is a great part about living in Concord. It is very family friendly, also sport friendly. If you're really into sports, this is a great place to live. Pro number 5 would be the schools in Concord. I can't really speak on the ratings for the schools. You would have to do your own research on that, but there is a variety of schools to choose from here in Concord. Concord is part of the Mount Diablo School District. There are many elementary, many middle schools, and high schools in Concord. It's not just one. There's going to be a lot here to choose from in Concord. Then there's also Christian and Catholic schools, private schools here in Concord. 2 really big private schools is De La Salle and Carondelet. Those are kind of on the border of Concord and Walnut Creek, but they are located in Concord, which makes it very nice for those families who want their children to go to those schools. There are many families who come from other cities and sit through traffic to get to school every day. So it's a luxury to be able to just be able to live in the same city as those schools. Now the school traffic's probably still kind of bad, but not as bad as being on the freeways to get your kid to school there. So I would say that would be the 5th pro of living in Concord. Okay, so the first con of living in Concord, I would have to say it'd be the crime. However, I don't think the crime is that bad, but it is higher than Walnut Creek, Pleasant Hill, our neighbored cities. Concord has higher crime. You might see more homeless here in Concord, but I have not felt it. It's definitely not like the city where your car might get broken into maybe 4 times a year. It's not going to be like that here. I've never had my car broken into. I've actually never seen any crime. I have seen homeless, but I haven't never witnessed any crime in Concord. But it does, if you do your research, the crime is a little bit higher here in Concord. So that would be the first con. The second con of living in Concord would be the traffic. So there are a lot of commuters coming from Pittsburgh, Antioch, Discovery Bay, and they do come down the hill through Concord to head over to the city, to head to Oakland. So it does get pretty packed on the freeways in the mornings and the afternoons. That would be a con. However, the residential streets are pretty mellow during those rush hour times. So I would probably say, it is kind of a big deal, especially if you're a commuter and you're going to be on the freeways. But if you work remotely at your home or close to home, you're not going to really feel that traffic. So that is the second con of living in Concord, the traffic on the freeways. The third con of living in Concord is that Concord is not very walkable when it comes to getting around to go to restaurants or stores. The neighborhoods are walkable. There's nice sidewalks, and like I said, there's parks nearby, so you can walk around your neighborhood into the park. But if you want to go to the store or to a restaurant, you're definitely going to have to get in a car and head over there. So that would be one of the cons of living in Concord, is that it's not a walkable place for you to walk to downtown and meet some friends at a restaurant. You're definitely going to need to get a car or Uber around, because it is spread out here. The fourth con of living in Concord is that it is very hot here in Concord. It's not like the peninsula. It's not like Oakland, Berkeley, where you're going to get a nice breeze all the time. It is more inland. We have cool breezes, but it definitely gets hot in summer. It's going to be in the 90s. It can be in the hundreds during summer. So you're definitely going to want to have AC in your home. Which is not always possible at first. Some of the homes are older here in Concord. They don't have AC. Mine didn't come with AC, so that's going to cost you. To put that AC into your home, you're most likely going to want it. It does get hot here in Concord. You might want to get a pool or buy a home with a pool. You're definitely going to use it here in Concord. So if you're coming from the peninsula, coming from the city, where it's nice and cool, it's not going to be like that here in Concord. So get ready for some heat. The fifth con of living in Concord or moving to Concord would be that there are not a lot of new builds here. So if you're the kind of client that wants a brand new home with all the upgrades, you may not be able to find that here in Concord right away. There are some new builds, but the homes here are mainly older homes who have been remodeled. And if they're not remodeled, then it's something that you may have to do on your own. I know a lot of cities like Pittsburgh, Antioch, Brentwood, they have a lot of new builds where you're going to get a new modern home with big walk-in closets and new kitchens, a new modern home. They're going to have it. Here in Concord might be a little bit harder to find, but you can definitely buy a nice size house and remodel it yourself. So that might have to be an option if you want to live here in Concord. You might have to pick that older home and remodel because you're just closer to maybe your job, closer to the city. So there's kind of that exchange that way. But yeah, new builds are a little bit hard to find here. There's going to be more in the future. I believe in the city plans, there's going to be a lot more new homes, but that's going to be in the future. So that would be the fifth con of living in Concord. Finding a brand new build home might be kind of hard. If you have questions about living in Concord or moving to the Bay Area, please message me. My email is below. Like and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell. Have a great day.